So like I said, so this is my first time going live on YouTube. My first time going live on YouTube. And I mean, how do you get people to watch your YouTube live? Because I got 0 persons watching me now. So just me talking to myself. Anyway, um, the video is always going to be there for whoever wants to watch it later. So I uh, I talked about Kenya being the new giant of Africa. I talked about Kenya being the new giant of Africa 2 days ago, and I noticed that lots of Kenyans have seen that video and they're proud, feeling fly, proud to be Kenya. Nigeria was never the giant of Africa. Kenya is the lion of Africa, and all of that. My Nigerian people were angry. Some came to me personally to tell me that I shouldn't have done that. You should always speak good of your country. You should always defend your country. You should always defend your people and all of that. But to be honest, Nigeria has dealt with us for too much to just be trying to cover up, just be trying to do some good publicity for Nigeria. I've lived in Nigeria all my life for more than 3.5 decades. And anytime I sit down and I look at my entire family, from my almost 80-year-old mother down to the youngest person in my family, the question I always ask is, what has Nigeria done for us to be proud of? What has Nigeria done for us, citizens of Nigeria, to be proud of? What has Nigeria done for us Nigerian citizens to be proud of? Before you get angry at me because I said that Kenya is the new giant of Africa, yes, because Nigerians are angry that I said Kenya is the new giant of Africa. But what has Nigeria done for you as a Nigerian personally? Me here, what has Nigeria done for me? Nothing. Nothing. Everything you do in Nigeria, you do for yourself. Everything you achieve because you did something for yourself. Not because you're a citizen of a country. Your rights are trampled on by security agents. The government is looking for one way to take from you. It's always take from you, take, and nobody's giving. Take, and nobody is giving. I mean, I sometimes wish I'm like my other country people who have left the country, because Nigerians are just leaving the country in large numbers. Nigerians are you at what? Yeah. So are you at Act? Is it Act 7? I don't understand your question. Are you at Tell? Ask the question more. So like I was saying, if you're just joining my live, my name is Nev Harrison. I am TikTok as Celebrity Puppet. People know me as the guy behind There's a Funny Puppet on TikTok, but I like serious issues. And I've noticed that my YouTube channel, when I post serious issues, I'm in Nigeria. I'm in Nigeria, if that's your question. Okay. Where are you? Anyway, whenever I say something serious, people pay attention. So that's why I'm here. Oh, you're here for the comedian. Oh, you look like you got matter daddies. Uh, Traded stunts, or is it T faded stunts? What country are you writing this from now? What country? You want to joke you're having a bad day. You want to joke you're having a bad day. Everybody's having a bad day too. So who's going to make who laugh? You say I look like Dennis from Kai Senat. Okay, you're in the USA. Oh, okay. T faded stunts. I'm not. I'm not in America. I'm not an American. I'm African. I'm Nigerian. So maybe if you have questions about Nigeria, I can answer you. I'm African. I'm Nigerian. I'm a ventriloquist. I'm a comedian, and I also talk on social issues. Okay. Yes. Not in the United States. No. So if you have questions about Africa, are you part of those in America who think that Africa is a country? You know, I see lots of Americans, they say Africa is a country. Africa is not a country. Come on. Okay, it's my microphone. It just clicked to this space. All right? It's a microphone, not a collar, not in the jungle, not a collar. It's a microphone. You can hear the tap, tap, tap. Matter daddies is not um, it's not a slang or word that we use here. Every community, every society, they have their own slang or words that they use. Matter daddies, maybe it's popular where you are, it's not popular here. We might have a different name for it. So maybe if you explain what matter daddies mean, I will tell you what we call it here. Okay? Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, what part of the USA? T faded stunts. Are you into stunts of some sort or what? Are you into what is what? I haven't asked you what is what. This? I haven't asked you what. I'm asking what is matter daddies? What does it mean? I don't know what it means here. For my motorcycle stunts. Oh, okay. Oh, keep it up. Dangerous. I hope you're insured, right? So, like I said, my name is Nev Harrison. I'm a Nigerian, I'm a ventriloquist, and I also talk on serious issues concerning my country and concerning Africa. I also do puppeteering work on mostly on TikTok because that's where you get, I should say it again. Mata, okay, let me say it like an African. Mata daddies. Mata daddies. Uh-huh. You satisfied? Nigeria is supposed to be a secular country, supposed to be. But Nigeria was colonized by Britain, and Britain did a terrible job colonizing Nigeria and creating the country Nigeria. Now, what you call Nigeria today is a combination of different ethnic nationalities, people who speak different languages, people who, bless it, uh, people who speak different languages, people who have lots of things that are not in common. You understand? They're just far apart. Now, Britain used colonialism to join these people together. And then Britain brought Christianity, the Arab countries brought Islam. You find Islam largely in the northern part and Christianity in the southern part. Now, they merged these people together. Nigeria has over 250 ethnic groups, different languages, and all of that. Now, when you join people together, just like putting inside one house Russians, Indians, Chinese, and all of that, and Americans, and all of them, and you want them to be one. So, Nigeria, like I said, Nigeria is meant to be a secular country, but some people don't believe that. Some people don't practice that. When you go to the northern part of the country, they don't act like Nigeria is a secular country. There are religious laws there. You understand? There are religious laws that are practiced in the northern part of the country. Nelson Mandela is South African, one of the heroes of South Africa who fought against apartheid rule in South Africa. Nelson Mandela. Yes, I think he passed on how many years ago? And he was the first black president of the South Africa. No, blessing, Nigeria is not the giant of Africa. Okay? Nigeria is not the giant of Africa. Nigeria Nigeria stopped being the giant of Africa in the early 1980s. Okay? Nigeria is not the giant of Africa. Okay? Nigerians don't know their rights. Nigerians cannot fight for their rights. As we speak now, the police has come with the ECMRO payment. If you have a car in Nigeria, you're paying 5,300 to the police. What are you paying that money for? VIO is collecting money from you, FRSC collecting money from you. They're giving to capture your data. They're collecting money from now. Police have added theirs. Who is out there contesting that? Anything they throw at you guys, you swallow, you accept, you take. You take it. Anything they give you, you take. So please, you cannot be a giant, okay? You see what Kenya did? That's what giants do, okay? Blessing, blessing. You're still claiming till date. How can you be a giant? Because you guys, because oh yes, we're good at music, we're good at entertainment. Nigeria is very good at entertainment. We are resilient, we can create out of nothing in entertainment, survival, and all of that. But in holding government accountable, zero. Chinese Belt and Road Initiative in Africa. I really don't know much about that. What I know is that China is giving out loans, and African governments cannot pay back these loans. And the contract that the sign for the African government sign is always in favor of China, for China to come and take some what's it called, infrastructure belonging to the African government and the African people. Nothing is ever in favor of the Africans. Yes, and okay, the road in each. I don't know much about that. Yeah, I don't know much about that, but I know that they're building. They have building projects in Nigeria. The trains that we have, they built some trains 2018, between 2018 2020. They built some trains in Nigeria, and Nigeria is having a hard time even paying back the loan for the trains. So you say Nigeria is the giant, you can't even build trains by yourself. And now China has built a train for you, the train that does not even connect major parts of the country. And China wants to take billions of or should I say millions of dollars in return. Do I support it? Well, if you do not build your house, an outsider will always come to build it for you in their own terms. That's what is happening with China and Africa. African leaders over the years have consistently failed in building Africa or in using Africa's resources to the advantage of Africans. Yes, they have resources, they have everything, they have the gold, they have the diamond, but at the end of the day, they have the poorest people because the what is gotten out of all these things, they keep for themselves, they take to some foreign countries to stash there. So they leave the people poor. And then China will come or some other country will come and say, oh, you're stranded, let me help you. I give you this, you give me that. And what they give is always little, what they take back is 10 times more than what they give. That's the story of us. So do I support it? Whatever China is giving, they're taking 10 back. If they give you one, they take 10 back. So it's never in favor. And the roads they built for, is it Equatorial Guinea? They built some roads to take over 200,000 metric tons of wood, trees, their forests back to China. The roads. I hear the roads are bad now. Again, after taking all the trees and all of that from the country. So it's terrible. Blessing the giant. So I hope that answers you, right? I hope you've been answered. So please, blessing and the likes, for you to be the giant of Africa, you have to do something about this oppressive system that is being operated in Nigeria, where people are being pushed to the wall daily, their rights are being trampled upon, inflation, and the people in government are stealing all the resources. Where there's inflation, people cannot eat, there's no food, no money, and people have time. Your president is thinking of buying a jet. He has a jet. The vice president, they want to buy a jet for the president and the vice president, and they say there is no money. And these are monies they borrow from the United States and all of that. I don't know why the United States is always in front. We're always willing to give African countries money when there are people who cannot feed. There are homeless people in the United States. There are lots of homeless people in the United States. We see videos of them, but the United States wants to give Africa $5 million every 6 months. What is that? Is beyond a flawed democracy. It has never been a democracy because the citizens have never benefited from it. The citizens have never benefited from what we call democracy in Nigeria. Healthcare, transportation, welfare, security of lives and property, food, accommodation, nothing. Citizens have never benefited from anything that democracy is supposed to give. Citizens have never. I've lived here in this country. I was born here. I've been here all my life, more than 3.5 decades. And I'll tell you, what have I gained? Anything you gain as a citizen of this country, you did for yourself. There's nothing you gain. Instead, they only want to take from you. They want to take from you. Just take from you. That's why you see people running away, looking for greener pastures. Nigerians are running away. They're going to Australia, they're going to the United Kingdom, they're going to France, they're going to the United States, they're going to Canada to get a better life. Some of them live here, they are bank executives, they work in banks, senior managers and all of that. And they go to the United States, they go there and they become cleaners, just cleaning the wall and glass. And why do they do that? Because they have finally found themselves in a place where they can comfortably say that there's dignity in labor. You work, you earn. Here you work and you fight to earn. You work and you fight to get your wages. You struggle. And when you get it, something from the government or so comes to take it from you. Like you see in the wildlife Nat Geo Wild, you know, just a little bird just trying to eat, and then one big bird comes, snatches the little bird away. Snatch, and that's it. It's a flawed democracy, XJ. Beyond flawed, beyond flawed, way beyond flawed. Yes. Yeah. So, what do you know on the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative? Is there anything that you want to tell me about it? So, guys, that's just it. That's just it. It's not easy. It's not easy, you know. So, like those of you living in the United States, and you're still thinking in 2024 that Africa is a country, Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent with 52 countries. As a matter of fact, yes, 52 countries, different countries. And they're not just black people in Africa. They're they're the Arab looking people where you find them in North Africa, especially Tunisia, Egypt, Tunisia and Morocco and Libya. You find them there. So Africa is not a country. I hear that a lot. So what country, what part of Africa are you in? I don't understand. Like, you know, Kenya is in the east, Nigeria is in the west, South Africa is in the south, of course. Libya, Morocco, Tunisia, they're up in the north. Africa is a big continent with so much resources. And God bless this land with everything you need in this world. But we have the worst managers of resources, the worst you can ever think of. Beyond worst, I would say. Extremely terrible. Never seen, never seen people so terrible. Look at Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. That country has the highest number of resources in the world. Everything you need for your laptop, your phone, all the things you need, the materials you need for a laptop to function, the materials you need for a mobile phone to function. But that country has some of the poorest people in the world. Now there's okay, XJ. You say there's a new opportunity for jobs, a new high-speed railway. In Africa, China is not creating jobs for Africans. China brings Chinese citizens to build roads. China brings convicts from prisons, put them in a plane and bring them here to work, to build railway roads and all of that. People from prisons. They put them in the plane and bring them here. They don't employ our people. No work here. So they're not creating jobs for us. And most of the projects they build for us are substandard. They're of low quality. They build the high quality for themselves, but they give us low quality in Africa. And in return, they take so much of our resources in exchange. Original quality. The rails they brought for us, they are rails, the trains, the coaches are from the 1970s. They painted them and brought them here. Now, these trains break down every 3, 4 days, somewhere in the bush, in the forest. They break down. Sometimes they just a coach but can just fall apart and all of that. So it's difficult to count the blessing in it or what. It's difficult to say it's a good thing. Personally, I think the leaders of every country should put their brains to task to develop their countries themselves. Develop your country yourself. You can always hire people to work for you and you pay them and they go back, not put you in a condition where you do things in their own terms. So high speed railway, we don't the Chinese is not even building high speed railway for us. We're giving them so much in return. No high speed railway. It's standard gauge. The one that came after the locomotive trains. The next one, standard gauge rail. That's what they're building for us. That's what they built for us. And they built it halfway. It never connected the southern part of the country to the east. Neither did it connect the east to the west. Neither did it connect the west to the north. It's not connected. It's not. So that's it. Yeah. So thank you so much, XJ, for contributing so far. Thank you. And I hope we're learning from each other. Yes. So Indonesia, Indonesia. Do you know what makes Indonesia famous on the internet? Do you know what when you say Indonesia? Do you know what comes to people's minds when you say Indonesia on the internet? You know what comes to people's minds? Guess what? Komodo dragon. When people think of Indonesia, the number one thing that comes to their mind is not Bali, it's Komodo dragon. Komodo dragon. Yes. Indonesia is so famous because of Komodo dragons. Yes, not Bali. Bali is your capital city, not Bali. Bali is known for, I think, tourism and all of that. Not Bali. Komodo dragon. Why are you guys keeping such a fierce dragon? Why such a fierce, big lizard? Why? I see what they do to other creatures. That's terrible. Goats, deers, I mean, cows, and all of that. That's what people promote more about Indonesia. Oh, Jakarta is the capital city. Okay. So Bali, I guess, is just like a tourist center. Indonesia, Jakarta. Okay. 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 Indonesia. Okay. Thanks for the correction. Jakarta, Indonesia. I hear Indonesia has the highest number of Muslims in the world, right? Am I right? Yes. I think that's an information I read somewhere. Indonesia has the highest number of Muslims. Okay. So, okay. So, okay, you're Catholic. Wow. My father lives all his life a Catholic. All his life a Catholic. Yeah. Tap 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 tap. So China, whatever country, I don't know. It's not working in our favor. It's not working in our favor. Whatever China is bringing to the table is not working in our favor. Whatever our own government is doing is still not working in our favor. It's not working in our favor. In the 1970s, we had the most oil, crude oil. It never translated to wealth in the lives of the citizens. We had crude oil, a large deposit. We still have crude oil, and it's still not translating to wealth. And somebody came in the comment and said that we are the giants. How can we be giants when you have all of this and it cannot show in the lives of your citizens? You're not a giant. You're something a little less than a chicken. Blessing, are you there? If you're there, please, from giant to chicken. Okay. Now look at Kenya. Kenya made the government reverse its decision. What have we done as Nigerians to make our government reverse a decision? They're always making decisions that is never in our favor. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Catholic. Catholic. My father lived all his life a Catholic. Yep. All his life a Catholic. Yeah. But my mother was an Anglican, and all the children followed my mother to the Anglican church. So we were raised Anglicans, while my father remained a Catholic all his life. Yes. Um, yep. Yep. Okay. I hope I've answered you. I hope I have answered you. So back to my conversation. Back to my conversation. Yes. I mean, not that Nigeria is the worst country. I mean, we rule the continent of Africa when it comes to entertainment, movies, music, comedy. We are doing great. We're doing really great. And some individuals have developed themselves in the tech industry. You understand? Not as a result of things being made available, but personal development, personal effort. You understand? People develop themselves and all of that. And I hear that okay, okay. So who's there? What do you know about I am live now. What do you know about Nigeria? Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, the country with the highest number of black people in the world, Nigeria. Hmm. God bless this country with so much resources, so much crude oil. We have some gold deposits. We have tin, iron ore, and all of that. But in 64 years, all that was transformed to poverty in the lives of the citizen. Painful, painful, painful. So it's quite sad, but all the same, it's all good. It's all good. So Kenyans, if you're Kenyan or if you know a Kenyan, so after the protests, Nigerians, learn to self-criticize. Learn government is not your friend. Hold them accountable and never forget. It's people's taxpayers being misused. Now, M, there's a little problem with this suggestion. Just one little problem. Now, we're divided among tribal lines, tribal and religious lines. You understand? People would rather be loyal to their tribe and religion than to be loyal to common sense. Now, that is a big problem. Just pray you don't find yourself in a place where people would rather be loyal to tribe and religion than common sense. If common sense says hold your leader accountable, tribe will tell you that this leader is from my tribe. If I criticize him, it will be me mocking my tribe in the presence of other tribes. So I would rather protect my tribe by not criticizing a leader performing poorly. Now, that is real here. That is real. People would rather stay loyal to their tribe than common sense. Common sense tells you that if your leader is stealing the money meant for building roads and schools, you have to hold him accountable. But people cannot hold them accountable because they are from the same tribe, from the same village. These leaders create poverty wholesale. But people, if you criticize them, they will say you're doing that because you're from a different tribe. That's what you're going to hear. That's what they're going to tell you. You're doing that because you're from a different tribe. So people are imprisoned. They are in tribal prisons. It's difficult if you live in a country where you have this issue of conflicts coming as a result of people of different tribes. There is civic education. It's not working. It's not working. These things exist. They're not effective. They're not effective. They're not. Absolutely not. You know, there is civic education. It doesn't work. What works here is who has the most money, the highest bidder. Justice is not for the victim. Justice is for the person with the most money and the most power. If somebody that is so influential with so much money does something wrong to some poor person, who's going to get justice? The person with the most money is going to get justice. Who's going to jail? The victim is going to jail. How do you fix such a society? How do you fix it? By teaching civic education and all of that? The thing is rotten from the top to the bottom, from the bottom back to the way up. It's a rotten system, real rotten system. It's a rotten system. I wish it were different. When I was a little kid, we were told in school, oh, you guys are the leaders of tomorrow. In a few years' time, you guys are going to be leading the country. The same men who were leading the country when I was a little child, 5 years old, 6 years old, they are the same men leading the country today. And they've made it worse since then and now. They've made it worse. They've taken it from good to bad to worse. Good to bad to worse. In the late 1970s, Malaysia is is a developed country. Malaysia wasn't all that developed some 40, 45 years ago. Malaysia came here and they took palm seeds. The palm seeds. They came to Nigeria to take palm seeds in the late 1970s. Studied heat here, studied how Nigerians were cultivating it, took some and went to their country to cultivate, to grow them. Today, they are the largest exporters of this same product. Today, we that gave it to them, we have nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. The society right now punishes the good, protects the bad. Terrible. Real terrible. We criticize, we do that all the time. The unfortunate thing is that the journalists of yesterday who was criticizing constructive criticisms yesterday, today is working for the government, shaming us, the citizens, telling us we are not patient enough. Yeah. So what the government do? They just keep the poverty going. They keep it, no plans to get rid of it. They don't get rid of it. Because if you stay in a place where you're poor for too long, where there's poverty for too long, it messes up your mind. It affects your way of thinking. It affects your sense of judgments. Little things become big to you. Basic things becomes a miracle in your eyes. So that's what they've been doing for more than 50 years. So citizens see basic things as a miracle. Citizens see basic things as out of reach. The political environment is dirty. It's not for the pure in heart. It's not for the honest person. It favors the dishonest, the disgruntled more. If you're honest, you're not gonna get support. You're not gonna get the push. People are not gonna rally around you. Political parties will not want to associate with you if you're honest. So it's dirty. It's a profit making institution. Politics is for profit making, not for the betterment of the people or for the country. It's for profit making. And this is what we wake up to every day. What we wake up to every day. This is our everyday reality. Nigeria tribal has messed up Nigeria for too long. Everything revolves around tribe. The last election, let me tell you something. The political party that brought Nigeria to ruins brought a candidate. People knew that this candidate was not going to make a difference. And they knew that things were going to get worse if this candidate wins. But because of tribe, people, educated people, people with PhDs, said that they would rather support the devil they know, who is their brother, than the angel they don't know. People said that. Here we are today. People can no longer afford bread. 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 People are perishing in hospitals because they cannot afford $30 worth of medicine. I went to see somebody in the hospital and they let a child perish because the child could not afford. The mother could not bring. It was late in the night. She didn't have an ATM card. She didn't even have money in her bank account. And they let the woman lose her 13-year-old child because she could not afford 36,000 naira. 36,000 naira is less than $32. It was her only son, her only son. She only had one son. It was her only son. Perished because the child could not afford 36,000 naira, less than $32. Less than $32. These things are real, everyday reality. Everyday reality. And people are just fine. They're fine about it. You know, every Nigerian now is saving money, They just want to sell their property and just run to some other country. Canada, Australia, USA, France, Italy, Spain. They just want to go somewhere else. They are happy doing the work of a cleaner, you know, caregiver and all of that. They are happy just to escape the insanity that we wake up to here every day. Every day we wake up to insanity. Why am I saying all this? I was brutalized by the military on the streets. I was brutalized by my own military. I did not offend anybody because that's what they do. We are just punching bags for them. We're punching bags and nothing happens. You don't get justice. And I tried getting justice. It's been how long now? No justice, nothing. And my fellow country people, rather than stand along with me, they say, well, just take it like that. It's God's will. Thank God you're alive. They didn't end you. Or you're happy that I'm alive. You would have preferred that they ended me. No justice, nothing. Where do you want to see a welfare system? There is no welfare system. Never heard of it. Doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It does not exist. There are good people in Nigeria, and there are people who wants the country to work, but they are not in positions of authority. They're not in positions of authority. They're not in places where they can solve problems. There's no welfare system. Welfare system? That's strange. That's strange. I'm from the part of the country that produces the oil. Have you been to the Niger Delta? I am from a place called Delta States. One of the wait, Delta State, you find some of the poorest people in Nigeria. And the weird thing about it is that they're always smiling. Nigerians are always smiling in the midst of suffering. So it's difficult to help them because they're smiling, they're happy. How do you get happy in the midst of sadness, in the midst of a terrible situation? Well, we Nigerians always have a way to just be happy, be satisfied with what has come upon them. Nah, 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 nah. This is terrible. It's unheard of. So, me personally, I'm just happy that Kenya succeeded to the point that they got to. Because so many people in Nigeria want Nigeria to do the same thing. But tribal differences will never allow it. Never. That's where somebody will point to you and say, no, you're doing this because you belong to this tribe. That's why you're doing it. You hate stuff like that. And governments, people in government cannot change unless you give them what Kenyans gave their president. They will never change unless you shake them. But we here, we're not ready to shake anybody. We just want to have fun. Go to TikTok. We're everywhere on TikTok. Go and see the things we watch on Instagram. Just play, 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 play in the midst of suffering. Play, play, play. Joke, joke, joke. Play, joke, fun, joke, play, play, play. We just want to play. We'll call it catching cruise. Catch cruise. To catch cruise means just to have fun. How do you catch cruise? How do you have fun in the midst of all of this? Where's the fun in it? Strange things my people are doing. Strange, 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 strange. So that's just it. I'm just, what's it called? You know, pouring out my M. Political participation is it's the last election, to be honest, it wasn't low. The young people came out to vote because they saw a candidate that they preferred. That's why you hear the name Peter Obi. If you search on the internet, Peter Obi, a name will come out. That man came out to contest. And for the first time, young people came out to vote. For the first time in history, young people don't vote in Nigeria. They don't care about elections. But for the first time, knowing mm, they came out to vote, but the votes were largely manipulated against them. The person they did not vote for ended up being the winner. It was clear they did not vote for this person. But then again, the person who has the most money, you pay the electoral umpire, and they publish the result the way you want it. So political participation is one of the poorest, I would say. Not the poorest in Africa, because I've seen other African countries. Theirs is extremely terrible, but ours is poor. Uh, XJ, who say Code Africa, na two they play. Me, I know they follow them, they play. Oh. I know they follow them, they play. That's why they talk seriously here. If you go to TikTok, check my profile, you see that I just do entertainment there, but I talk serious things because if you don't, it's affecting everybody. It's affecting everybody. When I was young, you could not bring a bicycle home that your parents did not buy for you. In this same Nigeria, there was some level of morals at some points in this country, Nigeria. There was some level of morals. My our parents back then used to joke and say that if you don't study hard, if you don't do this, you end up like they point at a thief and say you end up like this thief, useless. But today, 2024, is the thief that parents are pointing to. That you have to be like this person. Can't you see his life? Do something with your life so that you be like this person. He's driving a good car, is living in a good mansion. So now your worth now is tied to a car and a mansion that you're living in, and not your morals, your values, not all of that. It's the car you're driving and the house that you're living in, rented apartment. Okay, no problem, no problem, choose, choose. Is it choose? Choose, yeah. I'm speaking German. Choose. I hope I got it. So that's it. Let's forget about ourselves. Coded Africa. We where they play too much. You waiting, you they do. What do you do? What do you do? Was colonialism all that bad? I wouldn't say it was all that bad. It came with its good too. I mean, its gains, you know. But then again, yeah. When I asked my mother, um, during the time of colonialism, what did you people enjoy? My mother will always say that electricity was never going off in Nigeria during colonialism. Electricity was never going off. Never going off. But I'll tell you that since I was born, I have never in my life, more than 3 decades in Nigeria, see 1 week of uninterrupted electricity supply. 1 week, 7 days where the electricity stays without going off. I've never seen it. Even the light you're seeing here now is not even electricity, it's alternative energy that is supplying this light now. I have never seen it. And it's same for most Nigerians. 30 years ago, Nigerians were shouting up NEPA. NEPA is what we call the electricity company. Up NEPA. Up NEPA is something Nigerians say when electricity that has been gone for a long time comes back. As soon as the light comes back on, people will scream up NEPA. 30 years ago, Nigerians were screaming up NEPA. 20 years ago, up NEPA. Today, kids of today are screaming up NEPA because the story has never changed. The story has never changed. During colonialism, we're still eating our African food. We're not eating steak or whatever you call it. We're eating our African food. What was bad about colonialism was that Britain was taking our resources, taking it, putting in a, using our labor, taking it, putting them all in a boat for free, and taking them to develop England, Great Britain, whatever. That was what they were doing. However, however, uh, the education that we have today that is making me communicate to you this way that you understand what I'm saying was what they brought, was one of the things they brought. And it also helped the people who fought for independence because they were learned people. They were people of high intellect. So education has helped in some way in Nigeria, in some way, I say, because not everybody you see that reflects a sound mind, but when you see a Nigerian with a sound mind, is always above average. When you see an educated Nigerian, is always somebody that is above average. When a Nigerian puts his mind into something, to learning, they learn it whole, completely, and become best at it. That's why you find the Nigerians in America, they're some of the best doctors. The Nigerians in the United Kingdom, they're some of the best in what they do. You know, if you give Nigerians the right tools to work with, the best in them always come out. They have the right things to work with. The challenge we're having here for those of us back home, we're never presented with the right thing. We're never given the right things to work with. Instead, they want to take from us. They want to take from us. They want you to figure out a way, and then they want to take from you. Figure out a way to succeed, and when you succeed, they want to take from you. They don't want to take 5%, 10%. They want to see how they can take everything from you. Everything. That's the way it is, you know. So I'm just calling on Africans to wake up. It's time to wake up. We cannot continue this way. There is no magic, no miracle, no prayer that can change things for the better from the look of things. It's not possible. People need to start speaking up. People need to start asking questions. For example, the police wants to take 5,300 naira for us to capture our car documents, our car data. The road safety corps, they have our car data. The VIO, they do. Everybody, the telephone network, everybody, they have our data. The police, why do they want that kind of money for data? It's about the money, it's not about your data. If anything happens to your car, go and meet them and tell them they have your data. Let them help you. It's your money that you're still going to spend for them to look for your car for you. It's just money. Everything is about taking money from citizens. Take, and not give back and not add to it. What a sad situation we have found ourselves. What a sad situation we have found ourselves. Botswana is a small country. And I don't think the tribal differences is Botswana is that much. Your major language is Swana. Is it Setswana or what? You have one major language. What's your population? Your population is extremely low compared to Nigeria. Nigeria has different ethnic nationalities, ethnic group, more than 100 languages, more than that. Too many people, too many languages, too many interests, too many. So Nigeria is more complex than Botswana. Botswana is a simple, easygoing country with less complexities. It's a less complex country. It's simple. You land here in Nigeria, have a visit Nigeria someday. You see that life is different. It's a different world entirely. It's a different world entirely. Sometimes the smaller the country, the better. It's easier when the country, the population is few. It's easier. And when the differences are few, the language difference, when it's few, is low, sometimes it's better, you know. But here, imagine living in a country with over 100 languages, 250 ethnic groups, different dialects and tongues, 250. You move 1 kilometer, every 1 kilometer, there's a different language that is being spoken, a different tribe, a different people, all different, different cultures. Some cultures will say, "Why did you sit down while I'm talking to you?" And some will tell you, "Why did you stand up while I'm talking to you?" Different cultures, different beliefs. The only language, it's if you remove English language from Nigeria, it's going to be difficult for us to communicate. English language and Pidgin English. Pidgin English, this one. What una they do for there? I want to come your place. I want to come sit down where you do. If you remove English language and Pidgin English, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. There are popular languages in Nigeria. They're popular because the people who belong to those languages, those tribes, they have more people. So they say they are the major ethnic groups in Nigeria. There are three of them: Yoruba, Igbos, Hausas. They have more people. So people oftentimes think that these are the only three tribes in Nigeria. No, they are not the three tribes. We have over 200 tribes, but three of them have the highest population. In terms of population, number of people, they have the highest. So they always say these are the three major languages in Nigeria. They call them the major languages in Nigeria. Nigeria and Babylon. Eh, Babylon na understatement. Eh? Devil don't carry fire key, give Nigeria. Say Mona take, say I not do again. Say na Babylon. Babylon better now. Eh? You know, so it's complex. Unfortunately, Nigeria has never been lucky in terms of leadership, in terms of having honest people rule it. It's always people who wants to grab everything, take money that if they start spending $1 million every day for 500 years, they won't run out of cash. That's the kind of money they all want to grab. And that's why people are so poor, because the money that is meant to make their lives better, they've all been stolen by few, just a few people, few people. Yeah. So code Africa, Niger, not be Babylon. Niger don't pass jungle. Niger na air fire. Devil don't carry key. Simple kuna take. Carry on a country. Take. I don't want a fire again. Devil now, they look for I go repent, me enter heaven. Because you don't want follow Nigerians did that fire. You get that? Got me? Huh? So that's it. So once again, my name is Nev Harrison. This is Nev Harrison TV. Um, I'm just concerned about my country, and I'm concerned about the continent of Africa. And I really want to see change. I want things to get better. I want people to get better. That is not happening. We're deceiving ourselves, acting like everything is all right, feeling like everything is all right when everything is not all right. And hoping that things we've done nothing about to change, hoping and thinking that it will change tomorrow by itself. It's not going to change. It's not going to change. I want to thank you all for being a part of this live session. All of you. X, I thank you. XJ, I thank you. Code Africa, I thank you. Every one of you that joined. I appreciate you. It's actually my first live on YouTube, my very first live. So Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Okay. So it's time to go. It's time to say goodbye. God bless Nigeria. God bless you all. See you some other time. Bye bye. Cause I like to say yes. I run my mind. Oh, I run my mind. I want my mind. Yeah. Yes, XJ.